Good evening from Jakarta. I'm Mr. Gary and welcome to my live stream. I'm just setting a couple of things up, so just give us a second while I find the cable. And obviously we'll just wait for a couple of people to join. Hello Mohammed Ismail, good evening to you. I hope you're well, just give me a second. There we go. Is that better? It's a little bit lighter now, isn't it? Eh? Goodness me. It was a little bit dark earlier. Yes, good evening from Jakarta. I'm Mr. Gary. This is my ESS, English Speaking Skills live stream for learners of English, people who want to learn a little bit more about English, learn a bit more about the language. And following a request from Mohammed Ismail, one of my devoted followers, if you've never joined my stream before, always likes to join my live stream, always finds it helpful, finds it interesting, and we try to have a bit of fun here as well. So yes, good evening to you. And tonight we're going to focus on quantifiers, as requested. Is that the request that you made in the last live stream, I believe? Is that correct? Let me have a look. If I can just have a little peek as well, I always like to see what is going on. What is the output? Can you hear me okay? Yes, I've got a thumbs up there. I can see that thumbs up. So good. I think the thumbs up is 4. Yes, I'm correct. What I'm saying, making sure that obviously you guys get the best possible stream from me as I can possibly deliver. It's been a little bit chaotic where I am today, so I'm just trying to get everything finished off, signed up, and everything working. So let's dive straight into quantifiers, guys. If you're still there, welcome. Hello, I'm Mr. Gary. I'm going to look at quantifiers in this stream extensively. Now, when we finished the section about quantifiers, you're going to get your chance if you want to join me on stream. No problem. I'm going to give you details about that as we go through. Perhaps you've got some questions. It's 13 years over and only, unfortunately, okay? So make sure that if you're under 13, you have a parent appearing with you and you have parental permission. I don't know how old some of you are. This stream is not, I repeat, not specifically intended for children under the age of 13 years old, but it's family-friendly content anyway. There's nothing risky going on this channel. Okay, it's purely about learning English. So let's get cracking then, and we're going to start by looking at this little presentation that we've come across. Have a look at it. Countable and uncountable nouns are key to quantifiers. So it means that these three things, quantifiers, countable and uncountable nouns, are interrelated. Alright? We need to know the noun, whether it's a countable noun or an uncountable noun, in order to select the correct quantifier. And what that means is, so it makes sense, but it's always tricky for learners because the noun follows the quantifier. So think that usually your quantifier comes first, then it's either a countable or an uncountable noun. That's my number one tip for my learners. Okay, here we go. Countable and uncountable. Well, how do you think about it? The best way to say it is, think about the noun. Think about the thing you're talking about. And it says here, can we count objects? Well, if we can count it, and it's easy to count, that's the key thing. If it's easy to count, we can it's a countable noun. If it's not easy to count, then it's uncountable. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you right now. See what this is? What is that? Any ideas, guys? What is this that I'm holding? Okay, it's a jar of coffee, right? It's a jar of coffee, meaning I'm using a countable there because it's a jar of coffee. But the coffee that's inside this jar, do you know how much coffee there is? Well, the answer is no. Why don't you know? Well, is it because you can see it or because you can't see it? I can say that there is some coffee in there, but not much. Okay? In fact, this jar is almost empty. So there's a demonstration of how sometimes a countable noun can become uncountable. A countable noun can become uncountable. Good. Yes, you're right. A very good statement here from Mohammed Ismail, so I'm going to highlight that for you. A jar is countable, and I think that's and coffee is uncountable. Yes, that's right. So this is how I say to my learners that, you know, countable, we can easily count it. Uncountable, it's difficult to count unless we weigh it or measure it. Okay, but as I just demonstrated, I can't weigh that coffee at the moment. Alright, I don't know how much is in there, and I'm not going to ask for 6,259 grains of coffee now, am I? No, it just isn't practical for us to do that. So Mohammed Ismail, good job, and he puts a little full stop there as well. Let's have a look at the next one. Right, okay, here we go. So I'm looking for the button. Where is the button? There we go. Can we count oranges? Well, of course. Can I have an orange, please? Or can I have 2 oranges, please? Notice with plurals, with most of them, you'll have an S on the end. Okay, sometimes it's ES, but we're not going to talk too much about that. So, is this a countable noun? Type yes if it's a type yes if oranges is countable, or type no if you think they're not countable. Yes, they are countable. Of course they are. I've just told you, right? Now, what about this? Rice. Can we count rice? Good job, Mohammed Ismail. A little bit of a delay on this stream. So type yes if you think we can count rice. Rice on its own without any packaging or container. Correct. Okay, hello Pallavi. Yes, no problem. Well, tuition on the move, isn't it? Joining me in my live stream. Good job, well done. So, hello, good evening to you. No, you're not late. I'm a little bit late starting. She says, "Hi sir, how are you? I think she said I'm coming home from tuition right now." Okay, good. Yeah, no problem. Tuition on the move, she says. She's very late. No need to apologise. I'm a little bit late starting, and it's, you know, we're just starting ourselves, so don't worry. You haven't missed anything. We're 9 minutes and 40 seconds into the stream. Okay, so don't worry. What about dogs? Are dogs countable? Yes, if they are countable, type yes. If countable, type no. If uncountable. Can we count dogs? Now, if I was walking past a park where I live, there are many dogs in there. Okay, yes, they are countable. It depends how fast they're running and what they're doing, I think. So occasionally you might say, well, ooh, there are so many dogs in there, which means that we can count them, okay? We wouldn't say there are so much dogs in there. So many is a countable quantifier. Much is for uncountable. Right, a good question from Pallavi, don't worry. I'm coming to you, just a moment. What to do in this? All you have to do is type yes if it's countable and no if it's uncountable. Okay, so we're going to look at some others. We've got a few more to look at. Look at the differences here. Okay, there is a car outside. There are some cars, or there are 4 cars outside. So some, I think some could be countable, right? There are some oranges in the fridge, if you want them. Okay, there are some bananas on the table. Okay, we can easily count those things, no problem. But remember what I said. We can count, if it's easy to count it, then usually it's countable. But when it's uncountable, it means it's difficult to count it, unless there is some kind of container or something to make it easier to count it. Like earlier we spoke about rice. Nobody goes to the shop and says, can I have 9,324 grains of rice? We just don't do that. Instead, we use weights to measure rice, okay? So we might say, can I have 250 gram of rice? Can I have a kilo of rice? Okay? Don't worry, it's okay if you can join for the duration, no problem. It's a nice easy one. Take your time, it's up to you. Paint. Can we count paint? Well, paint is one of those things. I know you're very tired, dear, don't worry, it's okay. Paint is another one of those things. There is a can of paint in the garage. Alright, or there's lots of paint in the DIY store. Alright, so can I have 3 cans of paint, please? 3 cans, countable. But paint on its own, without counting the can, means it's uncountable, right? So some of these can be a little bit tricky. Depends on what you want to do. Or what the situation is in front of you. Okay. Can we count students? A student, some students, many students. Do we say much students? Absolutely not. No, we can't say much students. We could say there are not many students there. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to... I think some people are joining and rejoining and stuff like that. It's okay, guys. I know sometimes the internet connection can drop out. No problem, don't worry. Sir, I'm very tired now. Yes, I know that. Yes, countable. Pallavi, well done. Good job. Students are countable. Okay. Now, what about water? Can we count water? How much water does it take to make a cup of tea? There's a clue. Use much for uncountable. Use much for uncountable. So, is water countable, guys? Correct, Mohammed Ishmael. No. Water is uncountable. And it's the same as time. The word time is uncountable. But hours, minutes, seconds are countable. Decades, years, months are countable. Alright. Same with money as well. That's the other one that trips people up. I have a question. Can I ask you? You can ask now, if you like, or if you want to wait until I've finished, and then let me finish this presentation, and then you can put your question in, and if I can answer it, I'll answer it. Alright? If you want to put it in the comments, no problem. Put it in there now. Okay. Right, remember guys, or un plus the countable singular noun. Right, un is preceding a vowel sound. Alright, an umbrella. Okay, what other vowels, countable vowel sounds can you think? An elephant. Can you think of any others? Put them in the chat if you can think of other countable nouns where we might use un. Okay, nouns everywhere. You just look around for them. You have a pen, an umbrella, an elephant. Okay, so you can put some nouns in there, guys, and I will happily answer those questions for you. Alright, so let's have a look at the next one. Plus some, so affirmative sentences with plural nouns. Right, there are some oranges on the table. I think I can see some dogs in the park. There are some students over in the canteen. They've had an extended lunch. Alright, that's a common thing, especially for those college students or university students. Pallavi, the answer is yes. Okay, yes you can. I have a question, can I ask you? Yes, ask away, and then I'll address all questions a little bit later. Okay, some we use with affirmative sentences with uncountable nouns. Alright, so there is some paint in the garage. I need some paint to fix my car. There is some rice in the pantry. I don't know how much. Or I want some rice to go with this chicken. Okay, I want some rice to go with these vegetables. Some examples. Water. Oh, I need some water. Can you refill my flask, please? Dear, thank you so much. I'm not asking for a set amount of water, just asking for some water, that's it. Okay guys, let's have a look at this next one. Any. Alright, so we use any with negative sentences and questions with plural nouns. So, example. Are there any oranges in the fridge? Are there any students in the classroom? I can't see any dogs down the street, but I can hear them. Okay? Some good examples there. Pallavi, I keep saying that. I don't know if you're dropping in and out, but yes, you can ask the questions. No, of course you can. That's why I'm here, to try and help you. Okay, let's move on to the next one. A lot of. Now, here's one of those where if it's a positive, like this, a lot of, then what you do is, if that's not the case, we can say not a lot of. Alright? There is not a lot of coffee in this jar. There was a lot of coffee in there last week when I bought it. Okay? So you can see here, I don't know if you can see that very well. Maybe I'll switch the view. So you I keep a bit of realia to the class. There is not a lot of coffee in this jar. Okay. Right, this is a good question, Pallavi, so I'm going to come to that in a moment. Let me just finish this little bit, and then we'll get cracking, okay? Many. So we use many with countable nouns and in negative sentences. So, she doesn't have many dogs in the kennels at the moment. Hopefully there's not many people on holiday. Okay, let's have a look. Much with uncountable nouns, negative sentences. So I've given you some idea about that. Negatives, we talk a little bit about that too, Pallavi. All right, so that touches on the things that you're talking about there. So yeah, questions. Let's have a look. How much rice would you like? How much paint would you like? Some places measure the paint. Okay, so in other places you can just buy a can of paint or a tin of paint, but we can do that as well with rice. Okay, so you can measure the rice out. Here in Indonesia, you could go to some little shops and they'll give you, if you want 100 gram of rice, they'll give you 100 gram of rice. If you want 50 gram of rice, they'll give you 50 gram of rice. They won't they don't count out the grains of rice. Okay, some, any. Alright, so a very nice little table here. I'm going to move on to the next activity and show you that in a couple of moments. Alright, much, many, a lot of, how much, how many. Hopefully you can see that clearly there, guys. I'm sure we probably can. If not, you can always take a screen print of it. You know, take a screenshot of the slide. If you're using a hand phone, easy to take a screenshot and use it for later. You know, print it out, save it, whatever you like to do with it, no problem. Okay, if you want me to see another slide, just say please go back to a slide, okay, or whatever. Let's look at these examples. Pallavi, I'm going to come to your question in a moment or two. Let's have a look at number one. There is blah blah blah, new teacher at school. There is blah blah blah, new teacher at school. Now, do we say look at the sentence. Is usually for singular, isn't it? Okay. And Mohammed Ismail says and Pallavi says there is a new teacher at school. I think you're correct there, guys. Well done. So let's do that one. Let's look at the second one. This cake needs blah 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 sugar. 500 grams. Any ideas, guys? This cake needs blah 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 sugar. 500 grams. Put your answers in the chat box, guys. I don't think it's much. Remember, this has a quantity. This has a quantity, doesn't it? 500 grams is a quantity. So 500 grams, I can easily count 500 grams. So imagine that we have a cake and we taste the cake and it's not very sweet. So what do you think we have to do to the cake to make it sweeter? We need blah 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 sugar. Might not be a very good example, that, actually. What's the opposite of less? Yes, I think you've got it. I think you've got it. I can see that on my hand phone, not on my screen at the moment. Pallavi, it's a very good question. I'm going to come back to it, my dear. Don't worry. I have got it. Okay, don't worry. I've got it. I'm going to come back to you and I'll give you some thoughts. Good. Some sugar. I was thinking the cake needs more sugar. You could say more, I suppose, there. Some sugar. I think so. Yeah, more sugar could be a better answer. So let me highlight that. Sir, what do you think about my question? Yes, I like your question. I'm going to come back to you on it. Okay, don't worry. We'll talk about it in this stream. Let me just finish this piece off about quantifiers. We'll take a little break. I'll answer that question then, and I've got more quizzes and stuff for you. Alright, so let's have a look. Number 3. Blah 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 students are there in your class? Question. 24 is the answer. So you need 2 words here. 2 words. The first word is how. Alright. So you tell me now, what is word number 2? What is word number 2? Can we count students? We said that. Yes, we can. Alright. So how... Come on, chat. Put it in the chat box there, and I'll highlight your answers. How maybe there's a delay here. Well, of course. How many? All right. Yes, well done, Mohammed Ismail. It's just coming through there. Well done. Good job. How many? How many students are there in your class? Oh, the answer is 24. Good job, yes. And I think you're right. There is a question mark missing there, or a full stop. There isn't blah 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 butter in the fridge. Only a bit, or only a little. So what do you think is the answer there, guys? There isn't blah 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 butter in the fridge. Full stop. Only a little. Can we count butter? Can we count it? No, we can't. Alright, unless we weigh it, we can't count it. No. Oh, much? Yeah, there isn't much butter in the fridge, yes. I think that's a good answer. I was thinking there, you could say any as well. There isn't any butter in the fridge. But if you say if there isn't any butter, it means that there's 0 butter, right? So the answer is there isn't much butter. Alright, good job. So that's how you would get to the right answer there. Process of elimination, okay? If you were thinking any, then you're wrong, okay? Because it means that there's none. There isn't any butter in the fridge, okay? But good answer. And the final one, there were blah 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 people at the concert. It was a success. Can we count people, guys? Can we count people? Put your answer in the chat box, chat, if you know the answer to the final one. Number 5. And I can see Mohammed Ismail there has got the answer, I think, and it is many. Good job, well done. There were many people at the concert. It was a success. Of course we can count them. Okay. How about these next ones? Okay, lots. I've got loads of these for you to practice tonight, guys, so don't worry, we're going to do a little quiz show later on. And a little bit of review to help you with this, because this topic causes a lot of trouble. It does amongst my learners. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's take a little time out with this slide, and we'll answer first of all. Let's answer Pallavi. Many people say, Pallavi writes, Pallavi, are you still there? I don't know if she's there or not because the number has dropped. Maybe she's there, maybe she isn't. So let's answer this question. Many people say to me that if you want to learn English, then join some Facebook groups or any other social media app. But my parents don't allow me to use social media. Well, they're not doing a good job of that. YouTube is social media, isn't it? And my question is, how to learn English without using social media? Well, let's look at YouTube for example. Okay, YouTube has I think they said something like 2 billion searches per month. And you can find out any information you like on YouTube. Okay? Want to know how to build a car? Look at YouTube. Want to know about quantum physics? Look at YouTube. Want to learn about the wild? Any biome around the world? It's on YouTube, alright? Over 500 hours of video go on YouTube every single day. Yeah. There are 24 hours in a day. And somebody came out with a statistic, this was last year, and they said if you were to watch all of YouTube right from the very beginning up until the moment in time, you'd have to be something like, by the time you finish, you'd be 84,000 years old. Crazy. A crazy statistic. It's impossible to learn English. It's a good answer. It's impossible to learn English without social media nowadays. I kind of agree. Yeah. Why do I agree? Well, you know, look at the big social media platforms. They're all American, all of them. All right, you've got Instagram, you've got YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat. I think, is that Japanese? I might be wrong, or it could be Korean. I can't remember. So those are your big three. Then you've got Twitter. You know, there's loads of them, and I think over the last, you're living in a time where access to any information you like has never been easier. It hasn't. You know, in the years when your parents and I grew up at Pallavi, because I know how old you are, we had no choice. We had to go to the library to get the books. Now, where I live, the library was very small, and if there was no book, it was tough. You had to somehow find out the information in another means. But the internet was just starting back then. I was very lucky because I had a little job. I had a number of little jobs when I was in my younger teen years, and I used to help pay my mum and dad for the internet bill and for the phone use, and then I bought some of the equipment. My dad bought some of the equipment, and it was hard. But now it's never been easier to learn anything, literally anything you like. There are course providers. Without social media, we wouldn't know about Mr. Garrett and other online teachers. Yes, that's right. I mean, the reason I do this is because there are people, I think of it like this. Cambridge University came out and said there are over a billion people trying to learn English around the world. Right, that's number one. Statistic number two is there are over 200 million children around the world who have no access to any school or any type of electronics. You know, they might have difficulties accessing those things. So those were my two prime reasons for starting doing live streams. I did videos, and I started doing live streams earlier this year a little bit more regularly. And I think that, you know, getting it's the same as where I am in Indonesia. You know, people pay a lot of money to get a teacher like me. All right, and quite often they pay well over the odds. Yeah, in their free time. They study at night time here, where I am, up until 10 o'clock usually. And it's very, very difficult. But there are millions of people in this country and hundreds of millions of people around the world. They don't have access to teachers on a private basis. Okay, so the reason is my small little corner of YouTube with my 340 subscribers and growing is for those people. It's for you. It's not for me. But my students said, "Oh, mister, you've got a YouTube channel. You must be very rich because YouTube are going to pay you a lot of money." No, they're not. They're not going to pay me a lot of money. And yes, it is expensive. But sir, my parents think that I'm very young, but I don't think so. All my friends use social media. I know how old you are. You're already, I think you said 17 or 18. Correct me if I'm wrong. But there are children younger than you using social media every day. There are also children out there who run YouTube channels, and they're making bank, millions of dollars. The case that springs to mind is Ryan's World. On YouTube, yeah, and he's the richest YouTuber, and apparently he grossed about $28 million last year. But his parents put him on YouTube right at the when he was about 3 years old, and then every single week they kept making videos. And suddenly people got interested, and then it became Ryan's Toy Reviews. I don't know the full story, but he and his family very successful at YouTube. People need social media. People need social media, like me. As well as the educational side of it, think about the entertainment side of it. I mean, it's phenomenal. You can literally watch anything you like now. We're living in a time where you and I have got access to unlimited information. But the answer is yes, Pallavi. Right, it is possible to learn English without social media. However, you're going to be quite limited. Very limited, in fact. There are also specialist courses that you can pay a lot of money and sign up for a course. Okay? Now, when you sign up to that kind of thing, you're going to be under deadlines. It's going to be very pressurized. You might not get the satisfaction. You might not get interaction. Okay? It might just be a teacher sat there. Literally, you don't have any verbal communication with them. And they just send you assignment after an assignment after assignment. And what do? You have to write the assignments. Is that learning? Well, anybody can do that now. We know that we have copy and paste. We can just go copy and paste something off a website, paste it in, and that's what people do. That's not learning English, is it? What's the benefit? Okay, what is the benefit? And I always think you have to think. Maybe people are very bad in around the world. Social media has become. This is a good question. I think perhaps your parents are worried about the people that you meet, and perhaps they've heard a few horror stories. Now, once these horror stories get out, and bad things happen, then parents have a right to be concerned. Okay, they have a right to be concerned, and protecting you is their number one priority, right from the day you were born. So I understand that your parents are concerned. However, you know, the amount of resources that are available online now are phenomenal, and you have to use it. Like, it's free in most cases. And think about the money side of it. You either do it yourself and use social media and use all of these free resources that you have access to, or if you don't want to do that and you would rather go down a structured route where you get certificates, where you're just given assignment after assignment, book page after book page in a normal course. That's what you do, right? I used to work in an English course, and you know, I have to give the students homework, I'd have to mark the homework, do the tests, do the assessments, and that was okay. You know, some students like that, but I'll tell you now, they paid a heck of a lot of money for that privilege. And I'll also tell you, I wasn't getting paid that money. It was the owner. All right. So a lot of debate. Is social media a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Well, I think it's a good thing. It's a super thing, because people actually build businesses on the back of social media now. All right, they build business, they make their products, and then they're like, right, what will we do? Okay, once upon a time, many years ago, nobody cared, nobody bothered, but now social media is the biggest thing for anybody who sets a business up. Let's say you want to start a fashion brand, okay, Pallavi Fashion, and you get some people together, they start making the clothes, you know, you do the design process and everything like that. Okay, what do you do now? Well, you spend a lot of money on ads and tell people about your product. You don't have to spend money on ads. You build videos, you hold events, you hold fashion shows. Where am I going to have a fashion show? Ta-da! On YouTube. You know, Instagram. Those two play. TikTok, if you've got access to that. Those three platforms, huge opportunity, because there'll be people there swiping through. Oh my God, Pallavi's Help. What's this? Pallavi's Fashion? And she's a dress designer and she's having a fashion show. Look at all the... And straight away, you start selling and making money. And you don't even need to worry about making money elsewhere. So for a lot of businesses now, social media it's we're living in a time where there's never been as much opportunity. If you've got an idea that solves a problem, a product that nobody else has, Mr. Gary has a Facebook group. I haven't done very much in it yet, for a while though, because I want to try and build my YouTube, right? I have about 50 people in there, but yes, I have a Facebook group. Okay. TikTok is banned in India. Yes, I'm aware of that. So social media is it's bad for everybody. It's bad. Why is it bad? Because it's so addictive. Everybody loves it. I don't know how you found me, okay? Before you subscribe to my channel, I have no control. I have no idea, all right? But YouTube knows, okay? It knows better than you what you will like. It knows better than me what I will like, okay? When it recommends, that recommendation system, it'll recommend me something on the homepage. They are making some changes to it called favorites. So make sure you put Mr. Gary's channel in your favorites folder if that appears on your homepage. And what happens is, you know, it gives me limitless videos, but the top videos are the ones it thinks that if he clicks on that, he'll watch the entire video. And that's how good it is. And it's 99% accurate. It has to be a terrible video for me not to watch it. Or a terrible live stream. So there we go. I mean, you know, you have to be brave, and I say to anybody, if they want to join and they want to come on, I can give you a link, and you can appear on this stream. And YouTube are making it more easy for live streamers like me. Okay, I've made some videos. You know, I think I'm on about, my total uploads now is about 93. So, you know, my channel's expanding. It's getting bigger. Alright, but the more people discover my channel, and if they like my content, then they'll press the subscribe button, they'll press the bell. I don't need to tell them what to do. Okay, because that's opinion. You've done that already. So, I think social media is... I've seen it develop. When I was your age, you know, Facebook was just invented. 17 years old, 18 years old. It was just coming out, was Facebook. And I remember sitting there on the computer, you know, the first day, oh, this is going to be revolutionary. And we were looking at each other's photographs. And there had never been a time before that where we could just click a button and I got hundreds of photographs in front of me looking. Alright, so I mean, I'll put that link on for you. Just give me a minute. And then, you know, if you want me to do some personal stuff, then I'll do some personal stuff maybe. I don't know, let me have a look. There we go. Hold your horses there. Now, how do I... Once upon a time, you could just share the link, but now it's not. They make it more difficult, don't they? Let me have a look. I also have another Facebook group, but that's just full of grammar and stuff like that. I don't run that one, but I'll introduce you to mine. And then if you want to join it, then let's have a look. Here we go. Actually, if you go into the banner, alright, let's do this together and I'll show you where to find it, okay? So, if I go here, and then I go to, let's have a look. Okay. Right, so if I go to my YouTube page, I think you might have seen me do this before. And this is the same with any channel, okay? Most channels will have this section here. So you can see here, look, you can see the kind of thing I like to watch. I like to watch a bit of news, some aeroplane videos, some sport videos, things like that, okay? YouTube knows the kinds of things I like. But then if I go into my channel here, look, and then you click here, onto this is the channel page, right? And then I can click this one. There we go. Right, okay, there's the link. Earlier on I couldn't find the link, but I'll post it straight into chat for you. I'll put announcements out there if you want. You know, I'll make sure I put more regular announcements out. I do put the occasional video on. There are occasional copies of these. But if you want to go back and have a look at some things, I'll put some Facebook exclusives in there. Let's get on with the topic. Well, it's about discussion, isn't it? It's about discussion. There you go. If you want to join it free. I don't charge you anything. You know, you want to do Q&A, we can do some Q&A stuff there, no problem. Right, okay. I think some people want to play games, don't they? Goodness me. Let's have a look then. Well, I will get straight onto it. Because Mohammed Ismail says, get on with the games. Or get back to the subject. Is that true? Get on with today's topic. Okay, Mohammed Ismail, I will. My parents are very strict. I know your parents are strict, dear, but I'm afraid it's like anything else, isn't it? Like you're moving with the times. Everybody's moving with the times. Let's just get on and move with the times. We must modernize. The way that we're doing everything is changing. There's nothing stays the same for very long. Okay, here we go then. So, let's have a look at these countable and uncountable nouns. So, down the left we have a little, some, a few, much, a lot of or lots of, any, and many. So what we must do now is match these up with the definition. Okay, match them up with the definition. So let's have a little look, shall we? With uncountable nouns, this word is used with uncountable nouns. Means not much, but it means enough. Right, okay then. Any suggestions for that, guys? Any suggestion? I'll take your suggestions in the chat if you want to tell me what the answer is, and then I'll put the answer in there and let's have a look. And Sarah Ismail is joining us, and she says a little. With uncountable nouns, means not much but enough. Okay then, let's have a look at that. Right, the next word is used with countable nouns. Both Mohammed Ismail and Sarah say a little. So the next word is used with countable nouns. Means not many, but it means enough. I think it could be some. Right, Mohammed Ismail says some there, so let me just put some of these on here. I'll just highlight your answers, guys, just so you know I'm on that one. Right, okay, let's have a look. We'll try some. I'm not so sure that's correct. Now remember, they're not in sequence or in consequential order. You know, this could go down here, etc. The next one is used with countable and uncountable nouns for negative. Remember what I showed you earlier, guys. Remember what I showed you earlier. Okay, chat, let's have a look. I think this one's any. I think you're right, Pallavi. But don't worry, after this, once I've finished these activities, okay, then we'll do more Q&A. If you've got any more questions, just ask them away. Perhaps you want to join me in stream, and I can invite you to the stream with a click of a button, okay? As long as you've got a good internet connection and stable equipment, like the phone is, you know, not moving around, etc. Right, next one. Are used for plural, countable or uncountable nouns in affirmative sentences. It's not much, and I don't think it's a few. I think he's yeah, we've used any. Do you know how many tea bags are in this box? There are many tea bags in this box. A lot of. It's not that then, is it? So let's go with I could say there are lots of tea bags in this box. Listen. I don't know how many. Let's try that. Good suggestion, Sarah Ismail. Good, well done. With countable and uncountable nouns for affirmative sentences. There are a few tea bags in this box. There isn't much coffee in this jar. Where's my trusty jar gone? It's there. There isn't much coffee in this jar. So you think some. So I'm going to have to move some here. Number 2 you think is a few. I think you're right. Let's see what else we come up with. The next one, yes, I think we're getting there now. The next one, this word is used with countable nouns. There are many tea bags in this box, but I don't know how many. Shall we have a look? Many tea bags in the box. Good. Yes, I think we've got that one right. Spot on. Which means much is used with uncountable nouns. Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6 is much. I don't think it is. Okay, chat, type yes if you think we should check the answers. Type yes if you think we should check the answers. Are you happy with the answers? Number 7 is much. Mohammed Ismail says yes. I think he's screaming at the screen. Get on with it, Mr. Gary. Get on with it. Are we correct? Perfect score, everybody. Well done. Okay, I hope you... if you want to try that again... Perhaps you want to try that again if you're at home. Then I'll put a link in there. There's a link there. Okay. It's another little word wall activity. So that one's done. That one. So now here we go. We've got some more examples. Welcome along, everybody. Yes, I can see. Let me just see those answers there. Good. I'm just going to highlight those so you can see the ones that that answered. Try and answer all of them, guys. All right. Put the answers in the chat. Let's see how we do. Okay. Next, we have another quiz. Here we go. Right, so any ideas about this one? I need blah 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 balloons for my birthday party. I need blah 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 balloons for my birthday party. Perhaps someone wants to join the stream and answer. You can answer and I can hear you and see you. That would be fun, wouldn't it? If you want to do that, just type in invite me. I need a lot of balloons. Sarah Ismail says there, she says, oops daisy, what's going on there? Oh, Sarah Ismail says a lot of, Mohammed Ismail says a lot of also. Let's have a look. Yes, you're correct, well done, good job. Is there blah 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 sugar to make a cake? Is there blah 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 sugar to make a cake? And I get two answers here. I've got Mohammed Ismail says, oopsie daisy, that's the previous one. Any and any. Right, okay. It's a unanimous verdict. Any. Is there any sugar to make a cake? Of course. There are, oh my god, what's that? There are blah 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 party hats. Hangisi Gelemes. I think that's just like Spanish or something. There are, let's have a look. There are a lot of party hats. There are some party hats. There are a lot of... I'm not so sure about this. It could be either. I'm drawn between... I'm favouring B. There are some party... I think it needs more context then. Oh, no, that's wrong. No, you can't say that. Okay, let's have a look at that. I'll have to message the creator and check that one. So let's make sure it's okay. How money do you have? How blah 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 money do you have? Let's have a look. A lot of, and I think Sarah Ismail says how much money? How much money from Mohammed Ismail as well? So let's have a look here. I'm just going to change that. Just give me a second while I get that. How much money? Of course, how much money do you have? Good. Well done, guys. I need blah 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 candles. Okay, it's a plural. Hello, Mr. Hassan. Good evening to you. You're joining me, and we're just having a little quiz. A little bit of fun as we've done the presentation about quantifiers. Okay, a lot of quantifier practice happening this evening. So it's not this one because it's plural. This one, okay. A little candles? No, we can't say a little candles. So the answer must be a few. Good job, well done. Let me just. I'm going over to the hello Mr. Hassan there. I just highlight those names on those little messages just so you know I can see them. Good. Yes, good evening to you as well. Right. Okay. There is blah 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 car. This one should be a piece of cake, guys. It should be a piece of cake. There is a car, of course. I should make blah 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 sandwiches. Now it's a plural because it has an S on the end. Cannot be any. Cannot be little. So the answer must be what, chat? Some? I don't see some as an answer. Let's get some of those chats in there, guys. I'm going to put those down. Some? No, it's not that one. Let's have a look. A lot of Mr. Hassan. A lot of Mohammed Ismail. A change of answer there. Perhaps that was to the previous question. So hopefully it's correct. And as I said, making these quizzes can sometimes be a bit tedious. You might make a mistake when you make them. So apologies if I make a mistake. Would you like blah 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 cookies? Notice again here, guys, we have a plural, meaning we need a word that's going to help us with a quantifiable plural. And some of you are saying some. In fact, I think we've got 3 there. Mr. Hassan says some. Mohammed Ismail says some. Sarah Ismail also says some. Yes, perfect, well done. Good job there, guys. Oh my goodness me. There is blah 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 milk in the bottle. Well, this will be me in about a month time when our little baby arrives. My wife is 8 months pregnant, 8 months gone, so the 1 more month, 4 weeks, and he's here. There is a little milk in the bottle. There's a little milk in the bottle. Aha! Oh, I don't know what's happened there. It's gone on to the second. I don't know if it's gone on to the second one. I thought that was the final question. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Children are there in the class. Blah, blah, blah. Children are there in the class. Good job, guys. Mohammed Ismail says, how many? How many children are in the class? Mr. Hassan says, how many children are in the class? Being a teacher, I think this one should be quite easy for Mr. Hassan, I think. Of course! How many? Sarah Ismail also answers the same. So, good job. Yeah, there was a typo in that one. So you just have to watch out for those ones that the answer key wasn't correct. So a little bit of how can I say this? A little bit of confusion. Right, okay, let's have a little look at these ones then. We were here and then we were having a discussion with Pallavi about social media. And this one, there are blah 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 expensive flats in the centre, maybe 3 or 4. Now, in this one, I can't put the answer, okay? So it's a slide, it's not an interactive one. Any ideas about the answer for this? There are some expensive flats in the city centre, says Mohammed Ismail. I think he's correct. Yes, I would say that too. Right, number 2 on this one. Good, yeah, I could see some answers coming in here. Good, good. Perfect, Sarah Ismail as well. Number 2. Number 2, blah, blah, blah. Water do you drink every day? Well, my answer is I drink a lot of water every day because Jakarta is extremely hot. It's a very hot city. Not as hot as the Middle East, but it's still hot. Hot enough to gasp for water, should I say. Okay, here we go then. Let's have a look. How much water do you drink every day, says Mohammed Ismail. Mr. Hassan says, how much water do you drink in a day? Of course. And Sarah Ismail says the same as well. So congratulations there, guys. Right, number 3. It was good because there weren't blah 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 mistakes in the exam. There weren't any mistakes in the exam. Only 2. There weren't any mistakes in the exam. Well, it's not any, is it? Because we have the only 2. We can count those. There were mistakes. It was good because there weren't. So we can't say any mistakes because it says only 2 at the end. So I think the answer for this one, and I'm seeing the answer coming through now, as many. Alright, it's one of those questions. I think I'd say many for that. Definitely, yeah. Because it's a trick. It's one of those tricky. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. We all make mistakes. There isn't a perfect person out there. I make mistakes. All right. Everybody. The key is to acknowledge your mistakes, isn't it? And if you apologise, it means you've acknowledged a mistake. I do the same thing. If I make a mistake, apologies, of course. There is. Blah blah blah. Interesting story. Sarah Ismail moved on. She said, Anne, there is an interesting story. Of course, yes, there is an interesting story because it's I, right? I, the short I sound is making it into un. There is an interesting story. Good. Now the last one. How blah 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 sugar do you want in your tea? A spoon? Well, I don't have any sugar in my tea. If there aren't any mistakes, this means I got a full mark. There weren't. Yeah, but it says there only 2. There weren't many mistakes in the exam. There weren't any mistakes in the exam. If that only 2 isn't there, then you're correct. Technicalities of marking an exam paper. Yes, I'll give you half a mark, Mr. Hassan. Much, of course. Sorry, Ismail. How much sugar do you want in your tea? A spoon? Of course, a spoon. Right, and that brings us to the end of that little activity. So good job there, guys. I think you did really well. I've got another one lined up, and then if you want to do that one, we can do that one as well. I highly understand you, but it is the delay. Yes, there is a delay in the chat. I make the chat delay around about 5 to 6 seconds, but it's different wherever you live, right? So if you're living, I don't know, lots of variables, I think, with YouTube chat. Yeah, lots of variables. So we've done that one, we've ticked that one off, we've done that one. Right, good. Okay, chat, we'll make this one the final one, is it? And then we'll do the, what is it? We'll do, if you've got any questions or answers. Speaking of internet connections, the internet connection isn't really good. There is blah 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 noise. I can't hear you well. Alright, imagine if, and I say this to my students, you know, imagine if we're doing a class and you invite a student to speak in a Zoom class, and you know, there might be 3 other children and 4 dogs in the background. Chaos. You can't hear the students. So I would say there is, can we count noise? I wouldn't say much, Mohammed Ismail here. It would be a lot of. Okay, but don't worry, a lot of noise. There is a lot of noise. Yeah, there is a lot of noise. I know what you mean, and that's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it? Can we count noise? No. Can we count decibels? Yes. It's a tricky one. There is a lot of noise. Aha, there aren't blah 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 cars on the roads now, so we don't have traffic jams. In a perfect world, this would be true, but the world isn't perfect. Can we count cars? And I think you're getting the right answers there, guys. I've got 3 manys. Good. Or 2 manys. Yeah. I think that's a good answer. Good job. Well done. I keep myself to myself, so I have, is it few or little friends? Many cars, Mr. Hassan. Yes, well done. Good. Few. Let's have a look. So I have few friends. Yeah, of course. Aha. I'm very busy these days. I have blah 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 free time. Now, can I count time? No, I can't. I can count hours, days, minutes, seconds, months, years, but I can't count the word time. So the answer on this one is, you could use little. Few is not the right answer. Little time. Okay, I'm not very busy these days. I haven't got blah 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 to do. Right, I'm not very busy. I'm just wait for the answers to come through here. I can see too much's coming. A slight delay. Whoops, a daisy. Yes, a slight delay there. We've got much. And much as well. Good. I think that's the answer. Let's give that a try. Yes, good job. Well done, everyone. There is blah 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 food in my fridge. Can we count the word food? The answer is no. Alright, we can count oranges, bananas, apples, pears, star fruit, dragon fruit. I went shopping today actually. I bought a lot of fruit. There is. It's almost empty. The clue is there, look. That's it. It's almost empty. So yes, another one of those where we must try and... Yes, there we go. Right, when my computer is out of order, I don't mind calling the professionals. They definitely know blah 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 more than me. Ooh, this is a tricky one. Knowledge. Can we count knowledge? Can we count knowledge? Because it's no, isn't it? There, can we count that word? Knowledge. I'm a lot more than me is a good answer. Much more than me is probably the correct answer. They know a lot more than me. Remember this when I say, oh God, I hope I'm right on this one. Oh my goodness me. This is a test. Please be correct. Yes. Both could be correct there though. I would have heard more people say a lot more. Definitely back at home they would say, people would say a lot more than me. Okay. Blah blah blah, my colleagues think that I have put in hours and I don't work enough. A few of my colleagues or some of my colleagues? Can we count colleagues? Let's have a look. A few of. A few of seems to be the answer that I'm getting from you guys, so I'm gonna go with that. Let's see if you're correct. But would you start a sentence with a? Tricky. Yes, correct. A few of. Good. People who talk, blah blah blah, don't have any opportunity to earn much money. I don't understand the context of that question. It doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, I'll take your answers on that one, chat. People who talk too much don't have the opportunity to earn much money. I think you're right. Yes, absolutely. Good job. Okay, so yes, I'll just summarize those. Internet connection isn't really good. There's a lot of noise. I can't hear you well. Oh, I've closed that one off. Right, okay, good. Well done. So there we go then, chat. I think that's really it for the quantifiers. There is a little quantity. Oh my goodness me. Yes. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do that one. There is another one. It's another sorter, but I think we're pretty much done now anyway. So good. Any questions before we leave? Or before I end the stream? Have you learnt from that all those little activities this evening? If you've got any comments, put them in the chat box. If you want to tell me something, here's your time now to put these in the chat box. If you have any questions, put those in the chat box and I'll be glad to answer those. Thank you so much indeed, Mr. Gary, says Mr. Hassan. Well, of course, you're always very welcome. And thank you very much indeed for joining this evening's live stream. We've spoken a lot about quantifiers. countable, uncountable nouns. I hope now that you know more about countable, uncountable nouns. If you're not, drop me a comment, drop an email, let me know. And if you want some extra help on that, let me know, and I'll try my very best and utmost to assist you. And that really pretty much brings to an end this evening's stream. Thank you so much for joining. I don't see any questions at this time, but if you have any and you think of some later on, no problem. Drop me a message, like I say, an email or a comment onto this VOD, video on demand, and I will certainly reply to you. Mohammed Ismail says thank you so much. Simple, compound and complex sentences in the future. I don't see why not. Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of things that we can talk about. It's limitless, isn't it? Lots and lots of things we can talk about. So yeah, I think that's it for the next live stream. No problem. I will drop a date on that one as soon as I'm available to do it. What day are we on today? Thursday. I'm lucky at the moment. I'm on half term, so hence more than normal live streams this week. And I've made 2 videos today. Yeah, I've been very, very busy today for next week. Next week, yeah, so good. Yeah, no problem. I'll do that, and I'll bear that in mind. No problem. I'll take a screen print of that one right now, and then there we go. We have a photograph. So thank you very much for joining. If you're new here and it's your first time, perhaps you want to go over there, tap that subscribe button. If not, there's a playlist up here and a recommended video down here. Thank you so much for joining. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all very soon.